elaborate instructions about meditation, so he gave a previous introduction in verse number 25. And I would like to move to chapter number 6. Meditation, everybody knows these days, but it has become a very fashionable word and commercial also. In ancient times, Maharshi Patanjali is the one who invented this Yoga Shastra with Hatha Yoga and Dhyana Yoga. It was not for the purpose of physical comfort actually. Anything they did in those days with keeping in mind the final destination of knowing yourself. So even this Yoga Shastra, Dhyana Yoga, Hatha Yoga, everything was used to find yourself, to know that Brahman, to know that limitless consciousness. So this was also a tool to know that absolute truth and self-realization by having a samadhi. The concept of samadhi was Patanjali's invention. It is said that in Sharira Madhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam, unless you have a healthy, proper body, you cannot practice anything. So to keep your body healthy only to practice your spirituality, practice your religion, and live a comfortable life is not for anything else, not for physical improvement or anything. But people started using this meditation for all kind of other uses. Cannot stop. The world is like that. Bhagwan Sri Krishna also introduced in the 6th chapter the concepts of meditation, Bahiranga Sadhana, Antaranga Sadhana, Dhyana Swarupa, Dhyana Phalam, and he also instructs the proper way to do meditation. And in case you are not very successful and you are not reaching to the goal, he has given some remedies also and some advices also. What is Bahiranga Sadhana? Bahiranga Sadhana is the role and importance of Karma Yoga in meditation. Thus, Karma Yoga converts an extrovert mind into a contemplative mind. In verse number 5, chapter 6, Uddharet Atmana Atmanam Atmanam Avasadayet Atmaiva hi Atmano Bandhuhu Atmaiva Ripuratmanaha. Here the Bhagwan is advising that the self is a friend of self. This self is a friend of yourself. What does that mean? You have to maintain your self-confidence all the time. If you do not, you can be your own enemy. If you abuse your free will, it will stand against you and destroy you. So what a self-confidence means, you know you have a free will. That's the one biggest advantage of having a human being. There are hundreds of living things in the world, but human being is the only living species which has a free will. The trees don't have free will. Animals don't have free will. They are all programmed to do what they are doing. They come into this world, they do what they are supposed to do, and it ends their living life. Human being is the only one who has a free will to do what he wants to do. At the same time, he has been given the intelligence and brain to do the right thing. And that's why he's saying that if you don't use that, it becomes your enemy and it destroys you. In verse number 11, here Bhagavan starts lot of things about meditation. शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य स्थिरम् आसनम् आत्मनः नात्युच्छ्रितं नातिनीचं चैलाजिन कुशोत्तरम्. He gives instructions where to sit. Shuchau deshe, the place has to be very clean. How to fix the seat for meditation and all that instruction. It not yuchitam, not inicham, it should not be very low and it should not be very high, and all that instruction is given in number 11. And in number 12 and 13, तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा यतचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः उपविश्यासने युज्यात् योगम् आत्मविशुद्धये समं काय शिरोग्रीवं धारयन् अचलं स्थिरः सम्प्रेक्ष्य नासिकाग्रं त्वं दिशश्चान अवलोकयन्. He explains here how necessary and how important it is to maintain the posture to achieve the proper results of meditation. It's most of the time it is said, it's not said here, but I have read somewhere, probably in Patanjali, has said that even sitting for 45 minutes without getting disturbed, that's called an asana siddhi. Your mind may be moving around, but if you can maintain to sit for 45 minutes, straight, simple, you will achieve the asana siddhi. And once you are used to sitting, then there are other methods to control your mind. That's the importance of sitting. And how does Bhagwan tells you to sit? Samam kaya shiro grivam. Kaya means body, shira head, and neck. The head, the neck, and the back involving the spinal cord, they all should be in one straight line. Sampreksha nasikagram svam, and you should be looking at the tip of your nose with half opened eyes. Dishascha anabalokayan, do not look on this side and that side. When he means tip of the nose means that's the only way you can sit straight. If you look here and there, it will be right or left or something. And so to sit straight is the basic requirement of meditation. 16 and 17 is very interesting. Bhagwan advises, what are the other tools to have a proper meditation? न तस्तु योगोऽस्ति न चैकान्तं अनश्नतः न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो न एव चार्जुन युक्ताहार विहारस्य युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वभावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः. Bhagwan advises in these two words to eat less, yuktahara viharasya, sleep less, and not be too active but moderately active. Maintain steadiness all the time. These are the tips given by Sri Krishna Bhagwan. And still Arjuna is not convinced. There are other verses describing about how to do the meditation and all that. If we have chance, if we go further, we will discuss that. And let me go to the verse number 33 and 34. योऽयं योगस्त्वया प्रोक्तः साम्येन मधुसूदन एतस्याहं न पश्यामि चञ्चलत्वात् स्थितिं स्थिराम् चञ्चलं हि मनः कृष्ण प्रमाथि बलवद्दृढं तस्याहं निग्रहं मन्ये वायोरिव सुदुष्करम्. Arjuna is always expert in asking questions. I think it's good for us also to all the people who read Gita. We do have all those kind of questions and objections. He's never tired of asking questions. So here he is asking, my mind is very restless. I do not see it to be steady. I cannot make it steady. It wanders like a wind. It's turbulent. Vayoriva Sudushkaram means it's like a moving wind and it's very turbulent and fickle. Bhagwan is still patient with him and he answers in number 35. Asamshayam mahabaho manodurnigraham chalam abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. His I accept, I agree that the mind is fickle and difficult to control, but the practice of doing it again and again, it can be restrained. So, how do you practice? As he has told before, first try to steady the body, rest the body, make the body comfortably sitting. When once you are comfortable, you have to tell your mind, I'm not moving again. So that's why you have to sit before you are sure that you can sit for 30-40 minutes at least. And the way we were taught, before you start meditation, after you fix your seat, fix your seating position and everything, you tell your mind for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, please